Hello, this is Henry Harris. Welcome to the Weekly Spark. This week, a special treat. We've got visual aids, props. This week's topic I want to speak about is tshuva. Tshuva is the Hebrew word for, well, typically translated as repentance, but it comes from the Hebrew word lashuv, which means to return. Because the essence of repentance, of repairing mistaken actions, of mistakes that we make, is that a mistake is basically an act of disconnecting from our source, from the life source of all this world. And tshuva, repairing it, is reconnecting. It's returning to our natural human connection to the source of all life. And I want to tell you a little bit more about this with the visual aid, as I mentioned, because the Talmud says that this world is likened to the letter Hey. Why is that? Well, if you notice, the letter Hey basically has three sides. It's kind of like a location. It's like a space. That's what this world is, and we live in that space. Now, what's interesting is that if a person wants to, he can leave the space. He can just kind of fall right out of that space, just goes right on out, right? That's what happens when we make mistakes, we leave this world in a spiritual sense. Now, the Talmud then says, well, okay, I hear that. We have free will. We can leave this world. But what's this space over here? Like, why is this leg of the hay kind of hanging like that? And the Talmud's answer is, oh, well, that is in case somebody's ready to find their way back. If somebody wants to return, they return up through this space over here. To which the Talmud asks the very obvious question, I don't get it. Why not just let the guy return the same way he left? I mean, there's a big opening here because free will allows us to leave. Why can't it just be that he goes right on back up the way that he left? And the Talmud says, lo mistaya milsa, which means it's not going to work. It just won't work out like that. Now, what does that mean exactly? What does it mean that the way you left, you can't return? You have to go through another route. So here's my take, and I hope you find this interesting. The reason in my experience why I make mistakes is because I get just a little bit too caught up in my ideas of what makes sense. You know, like, oh, that third trip to the buffet is going to be such a great idea. It's just going to make me feel good. Wrong. Or, make sure that my wife knows that I really don't appreciate that thing she just said with kind of a sharp comment. Right? That's just make it known to her that she should just beware, right? That looks like a good idea. No, not really. So the essence of what I find is the source of my departing this world is just taking my thinking a little bit too seriously. Now, if it's the case that taking my thinking too seriously got me out of this world, then how is taking my thinking more seriously going to get me back in? It's not going to work. It was my thinking that got me out. I need something other than my thinking to get me back in. And hence, the different path. There's a new direction that's needed to get back in. Tshuva requires an understanding of looking in a new direction. And here, this is, to me, such a beautiful, special gift of an understanding to realize that as I've shared on many occasions, I'm capable of getting lost in my own thought. But I'm also capable of coming to take it less seriously and then thereby being open to new thought and the gift of thought, like the idea of divine blessing thought. Like that's where a new idea can come in, that I can see myself, my wife, my eating habits in a different light. And I want to share with you that there's a specific testimonial story that I'd love to recommend you look at. It's the story of Alex Wright, who by his own admission was suffering from a life-threatening addiction to heroin. He really expected to die with a needle in his arm. And he talks of the story of how many times he attempted to change his life with his own thinking and how it failed him. And that when he became exposed to this understanding of thought and how thought can come from a new place, it really turned his life around. And I feel so fortunate because Alex has just accepted to be one of our speakers at the upcoming third annual Innate Health Conference that we're expecting in the beginning of January. His video testimonial appears on my homepage, jewishcenterforwellbeing.com. Take a look and have a wonderful week.